Looks like he really has earned his good behavior release. Well, let's see how he's feeling.
Dr. Burton walks up to the door and and opens the slot. He peers inside the cell. Dr. Burton clears his throat before speaking to the patient sitting on the bed.
Jonathan.
The patient, Dr. Jonathan Crane, slowly turns towards the door with his name is called. His face is mostly hidden in the shadows. Only his piercing eyes are in full view. Crane smiles at Dr. Burton.
Yes, of course, Dr. Burton.
How are you feeling tonight?
Well, I feel wonderful. I've been waiting for tomorrow to come for quite a while.
Yes, excellent, yes. Hope everything goes smoothly as you're hearing today. Well, I'll leave you alone then. Have a good night. Sleep, Jonathan. I'll see you in the morning.
Of course. Good night, Doctor.
What I meant by morning is on the morrow.
The light coming from the hallway is cut off when Dr. Burton shuts the door slot. Alone in the darkness, Crane lies back in his bed and slowly closes his eyes. Then he lets out a small chuckle. And then he chuckles some more. Exterior, Gotham Cathedral, rooftop, night. Crouched down on the rooftop is Batman. Robin swings down from the sky on his gauntlet and lands next to Batman.
You're late.
I had to drop off the thugs with Gordon's men. There were 3 of them.
Take a look down there and tell me what you see.
Robin pulls out a pair of small binoculars and peers down. Robin sees a group of thugs breaking into the Gotham security building. Leading the gang is a hideous-looking man named Cornelius Stirk. Robin's face scrunches in disgust.
Who is it?
Looks like he had a blind date with a Quiznart.
A dozen
Cuisinart.
teeth at best? Poster boy for the hair club for men?
You know him?
That's Cornelius Stirk. Keep your distance.
Sounds like fun.
Hey, I mean it.
Okay. You are the boss, right?
Robin folds up his binoculars and places them in his utility belt. Both men pull out their gauntlets and fire them. Grappling hook shootout. Exterior, Gotham security building, night. The grappling hooks attach themselves to the wall above the building. Cornelius and the thugs look up. Batman and Robin fly down from the wires and land on the ground. Cornelius looks at Batman and smiles.
And it's not even my birthday. Kill them!
The thugs charge at Batman and Robin with clubs, axes, and crowbars. Robin jumps out and takes out the first couple of thugs. Batman takes care of some of them as well. Cornelius runs inside the security building amid the chaos. Robin runs inside the building after him.
Robin, no! Get back here!
More thugs come out from behind the building and charge at Batman. Batman uses various weapons from his utility belt to take them down one by one. Interior, security building. Robin runs in. There are no lights on. Robin flicks a switch on his headpiece. Robin's night vision is activated. As Robin walks deeper inside the building, he sees the racks of rifles, pistols, and various other weapons. Suddenly, a thug leaps out from the darkness. Robin reacts and takes a swing at the thug. More thugs come from out of the darkness and surround Robin. Robin leaps out and attacks. One by one, they fall. After a few moments, the fighting has stopped and the thugs are lying at Robin's feet.
Who's next?
Batman steps out of the shadows. Robin is taken aback for a moment. He looks back at the door and then at Batman. Batman steps closer and looks at him.
I thought you were out there. Did you see the mess I left for you back there?
Oh, I saw it.
Batman sucker punches Robin in the gut and punches him in the head. Robin falls to the ground. Batman smiles at him and reaches behind his back. He pulls out a large steak knife.
What was that for? Why did you hit me?
Batman laughs in his face. Suddenly, Batman dissolves away, and Cornelius is standing in his place.
I'm the man.
My God! What the hell are you?
I'm the man, little boy. I'm the man who needs your freshly harvested heart. Such a delicious combination that is fear's concoction. Makes my mouth water from the fear of your young eyes.
Suddenly, a batarang strikes Stirk in the head. Batman runs into the room.
Get away from him, Stirk.
Oh, come on, Crusader. You know as well as I do that there's nothing wrong with little fear in a young man's heart. Is there, bird boy?
Robin starts to edge away from Stirk. Still on the ground, his breathing gets more rapid.
You'll be mine again, little man. Another day.
Batman runs to Stirk. Cornelius pulls out a flash bomb and throws it into the ground. A terribly bright flash is ignited. The light is intensified in the eyes of Batman and Robin because of their night vision. Robin screams and covers his eyes. Batman shields his eyes with his cape and then switches off his night vision. When the light fades, Stirk is gone. Batman looks around and finds nothing. He then looks down at Robin and reaches down to switch off his night vision. Robin looks up at Batman.
So that was Stirk.
Exterior, security building, night. A group of squad cars are in the parking lot. Overseeing the collaring is Commissioner James Gordon. He walks over to one of the thugs on the ground and picks up a black piece of cloth. He puts it in his pocket, then walks away from the crowd. Exterior, city street, night. Gordon walks up to the sidewalk and waits. He checks his watch.
Busy night.
Nothing I'm not used to.
Batman emerges from the shadows. Gordon looks away.
Good timing for a hit like this with the security guards on strike.
I'll have to speak to the mayor on the progress of the unions are making. I got your message.
Those men we brought down. Cornelius Stirk was with them.
Stirk. Nobody's heard from him in a while. Word around the town was he was relocated.
That's not Stirk's style.
Of course not.
Jim, those men worked for the Scarecrow.
Think he's getting released tomorrow has something to do with this?
Very likely.
They wanted those weapons for something. Why is it you want to meet here? All the...
When Gordon turns around, Batman is gone. Gordon hesitates for a moment, then puts the cloth in his pocket and walks away. A moment passes, and then Batman reappears. He is holding a pair of roses in his hand. He crouches down and places the roses on the sidewalk. Batman stands up and looks down at the roses, then walks away. Exterior, Wayne Manor, day. The television inside is on, and the voice of Gossip Gertie, Gotham's leading news reporter, is heard.
Good morning, Gotham. It's Gossip Gertie. We're outside the infamous Arkham Asylum, where we're expected to witness the release of one of Gotham City's most dangerous, though now reformed, criminals.
Interior, Wayne Manor, living room. Bruce and Dick are sitting down, watching the television. Alfred Pennyworth is walking around the room, keeping everything nice and neat. Bruce keeps his eye on the screen. Dick keeps his head down, deep in thought. Gossip Gertie is standing beside Dr. Burton on the television. Gossip Gertie
She must be late for appointment.
is standing on the television.
No, hey, yes.
I'm standing here
Move over.
outside the asylum with Dr. Maxwell Burton, who claims to be nothing less than delighted with the reforming of Jonathan Crane. Do you care to comment on how you were able to change a man such as Mr. Crane?
Well, Miss Gertie, it took quite some time for Dr. Crane to rehabilitate himself. But I believe he has done a fabulous job. I'm very proud of his turn towards the light, if you will.
So what are Mr. Crane's plans for the future now that he is a free man again?
Dr. Burton looks over his shoulder and smiles.
Why don't you ask him that yourself, Miss Gertie?
Dr. Jonathan Crane steps out of the asylum. He is dressed splendidly with a three-piece suit. His hair is neatly combed back, and he's smiling brightly.
And here he is, Gotham. The fully reformed Mr. Jonathan Crane. How are you feeling now, Jonathan?
Oh, wonderful. Yes, thank you very much, Miss Gertie. Of course, I've always been a fan of your work.
Gertie blushes a bit, not able to let go of her smile.
Oh my. Thank you, Mr. Crane. I didn't know I was popular around here.
Oh, well, you are a much, much bigger star than you think, my dear.
Gertie blushes.
Well, oh dear. Well, Mr. Crane, what appears to be in your future?
Yes, of course. Well, you'll be happy to know that Gotham University, of course, has offered me my old job back as professor of psychology. And I, of course, am already looking forward to the year ahead. My students are in for a treat.
Bruce narrows his eyes as he watches the set. He then looks over to Dick, who is keeping his head down, not saying a word. Dick looks up at the ceiling, wearing an angry look.
Still thinking about last night?
Of course.
You have to put it behind you, Dick.
I can't.
Well, I did tell you to stay away from Stern. Why don't you listen to me?
I don't know. I guess I wanted to prove something, you know?
Prove that you're good enough to be my partner? Dick, you've done that more times than I can count.
Dick stands up and walks away. Bruce looks up at Alfred, who is standing nearby cleaning. Alfred looks at Bruce and smiles.
You were listening.
You're muted. Not you. Him.
It would be a disappointment to you if I was not, sir.
You should have seen him last night, Alfred. He was like a man possessed or something. What else is there for him to prove?
I'm shocked that you did not even say, Master Bruce.
You know something I don't?
As disarming as that may sound, yes, sir.
Alfred sits down next to Bruce, drunkenly.
Parlay. Master Dick is simply growing up, sir. You two have been partners for quite some time now, and has grown accustomed to the perils of the city and to his job.
And he feels like he can't take on that duty himself against people like Stirk? Like Crane?
Jonathan Crane is kissing the hand of Gossip Gertie. She giggles flirtatiously. Bruce gives an angry sneer, then calms down as he turns back towards Alfred.
Dick's not ready for that yet.
Master Bruce, how many years did you go out into the big city, big bad city all by yourself? How many times did you prove time and time again that you were more than suitable for the task?
Well, he's shown some improvement over the past months, but after last night, I'm not so sure. How did he get that reckless? And he wouldn't even listen to me, Alfred.
Alfred stands up and looks down at Bruce. He smiles and walks away. Bruce is left alone with his thoughts. Exterior, Gotham University, day. Kane and Dean Rowland, a middle-aged man with a gentle face, are walking along the campus.
Gentle faces.
Several students are passing by.
Feels just like old times, doesn't it, Dr. Crane? Good to be back.
I was telling Dr. Burton about how excited I was for, of course, the longest time. I'm sure he was anxious to meet me, and for me to leave, as was I.
Roland laughs at Crane's joke. Crane and Roland continue walking until they are up to the main school doors. There is a flock of birds nearby. Crane notices them and then walks away from Roland towards the birds. He smiles and flails his arms. The birds scatter! Crane smiles at them as they fly away. He looks back towards Dean Rowland and gives them a slight grin before dropping back into his serious tone.
It's just old habit. Dean Rowland, now, if you would, of course, if you would show me to my classroom.
Of course, Dr. Crane.
Interior classroom. Crane is unpacking his bag. Inside are the instruments he would commonly use in his classroom. He places the instruments on the desk. Crane then pulls out a .22 Smith Wesson pistol. He holds it up and examines it. Crane closes his eyes and smiles. Inside his head is the voice of a younger Jonathan Crane teaching his students.
Ladies and gentlemen, the psychology of the gun.
Flashback. Crane, 10 years younger, reaches into his desk and pulls out the Smith & Wesson. He aims it at a vase on his desk and fires. The vase shatters and the students jump back in a panic. Crane looks back at the students and smiles. Back to present day. Crane opens his eyes and places the pistol at the front of his desk. He reaches into the bag again and pulls out a small white skull. Crane holds it in his hand with a strong grip, then opens a drawer and places the skull inside. Suddenly there's a knock at the door. Crane quickly turns to the doorway. Dean Rowland is standing there.
Dean Rowland, I was just remembering, yes. What can I do for you?
Well, I hate to bother you, but there's a delivery here. 4 large wooden boxes.
Good. Yes, my equipment, yes, is here.
Equipment? But I thought we had everything you needed.
Your lab is adequate, of course, Dean Rowland. This is some extra material for my more, would you say advanced students? Yes, sir.
Well, would you like some help with